Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Nurul Hidayana. My name is Najwa binti Mat Ghazali and I am from AM 225 3D. So the question is explain the fundamental attribution error and differentiate between the primary effect and the recency effect. So what is attribution? So attribution is a perceptual process of deciding whether an observed behavior of the event is caused by the internal factor or in the external factor. So what is attribution error? Attribution error is attributing others' action to the external factor, which is the failures, whereas we recognize both internal and external causes of our own action. So it is our tendency to explain someone's behavior based on the internal factors such as our personality, our behavior, our values, and many more, and to underestimate the external factors such as the situational influences. So, what are the differences between the primary effect and the recency effect? So, the primary effect is a quickly form of opinion on the basis of the first information about that we receive about the people. So it is the first expectations from the individuals. So as for an example, Ali is a manager in the company. So on that day, he come late to work. So everyone in the company, all employees in the company perceive him as an indisciplined person. Okay, so what is recency effect? So recency effect is the most recent information dominates perception. As for an example, the performance appraisal evaluation that we judge are based on the recent behavior. As for an example, the perception of University Technology Mara. So employees have the perception about the organisation because of the recent informations and the new information that they are received that will affect their perceptions. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.
Fundamental attribution error. The fundamental attribution error is the tendency people have to overemphasize personal characteristics and ignore situational factors in judging others' behavior. Because of the fundamental attribution error, we tend to believe that others do bad things because they are bad people. We're inclined to ignore situational factors that might have played a role. For instance, if someone cuts us off while driving, our first thought might be, "What a jerk!" instead of considering the possibility that the driver is rushing someone to the airport. On the flip side, when we cut someone off in traffic, we tend to convince ourselves that we had to do so. We focus on situational factors, like being late to a meeting, and ignore what our behavior might say about our own character. For example, in one study, when something bad happened to someone else, subjects blamed that person's behavior or personality 65% of the time. But when something bad happened to the subjects, they blamed themselves only 44% of the time, blaming the situation they were in much more often. So, the fundamental attribution error explains why we often judge others harshly while letting ourselves off the hook at the same time by rationalizing our own unethical behavior.